GROQ is an open source query language for JSON documents. It lets you filter, shape, and transform your content on the fly. It's like SQL, but for JSON. As you'll see in these 4 examples, each one building on the previous. We'll ultimately get to this 4th example where we have a fully built product detail page on this e-commerce site using just one query. But first, we'll start off smaller on the first example, and we will look at some syntax, but it's not necessarily a tutorial on syntax, more a demonstration of GROQ's capabilities and power. So in this case, we are applying a filter. We're asking for some documents, specifically our product documents that are active, where the price is less than $200, and the brand is either Puma or Tecovas. And if we look at the JSON output, we'll see we get back all of the different information about these products. We're not specifying which fields we want back, so we get them all. And with this, we can build these cards showing the product information. Let's move on to example 2. In this case, we are going to be more specific about the fields that we want to query. So we have our filter, but in this case, we have a projection where we say we want the title, the price, and the brand name. And the brand name is special because the brand itself is a reference on the product document. So by default, only the ID of the brand is stored on the product document, but we're able to use this arrow to dereference the brand or be able to kind of expand that brand document and access its properties. And then we have this in stock, which is kind of like a made up field. It doesn't actually exist in Content Lake, but we're computing it by saying, is the stock greater than 0? Then output true or false. And we can see that in the JSON output right here. The in stock is set to true, and the brand name we can see here resolves to that brand name. And with this, we can build a slightly better version of these product cards. And now we have the in stock badge as well as the brand name down here. But let's jump into some really cool and powerful stuff that we can do with GROQ in example 3. We also have a filter, always starting with that. But in this case, our projection's a lot more complicated. And again, this isn't a tutorial on the syntax. You don't need to walk away from this understanding all of it. But I do want to go over 3 different areas of this projection to help give us an idea of what GROQ can do. So we've got the title and price like we've been used to, but now we've got this discount. The discount is calculated via this computation right here. And then we're able to use this round function. There's a lot of different functions we can use in GROQ to help shape and transform our data, including the one we're going to see on this next line, which is count. We're going to count all of the different reviews. Now, what we're passing to this count is a filter. This is a nested query. So we have our top level query right here. We're looking for all products that are active. And in this case, we're looking for all reviews, but we specifically want the reviews about the current product. And so within the projection, we are able to run these additional queries that are able to reference the context of the parent queries. Now let's move on to the last thing I want to point out about this query, and that's the estimated delivery. Here we have this select function, which lets us define all of these conditions, and it'll automatically return the first one that returns true. So in this case, we're saying, is the stock greater than 50? Then output 1 to 2 days. If that's not true, then go on to the next one. And we can go over to the JSON output to see it simply outputs 1 to 2 days. So all of that complexity we include in the query ultimately renders this very simple JSON that's ready to be rendered on the front end. And it's automatically cached and invalidated for us, including the parts that are computed. We don't need other application code or middleware or anything like that. And now let's take a look at the rendered output and see we have these cards that are much more built out with a % discount. We've got the stars, the total count of reviews. We're able to show the before and after price and the delivery time frame. Now let's say we were to click on one of these, then we would get to example 4 where we have a fully built product details page right here. We're not going to entirely dissect this query. There's a lot going on, but the importance is in this filter, we are not looking for all products, but a single product, specifically the one that matches the current slug that we're viewing. And we're doing a lot more in here. In this case, where we are accessing the brand's properties. We were just getting the name before, but now we want more. We want the name, the logo, the description, how many products are in that brand. And there's a lot more going on here. We've got variants, we've got reviews. The review stats, we are able to count all of the different reviews by star for this given product. We're able to look at similar products and cross sells. There's a lot of different things that we can calculate here, but all in all, this is done in a single query, which gives us our JSON output and is ready to be rendered on the front end. The way that we store our content and the way we need to present it are often very different. And GROQ helps bridge that gap, letting you query that content and filter it so you can get exactly what you need, but then also shape it and transform it so it meets the expectations of how you want to present it on your different channels. And that is GROQ 101. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.